Have you ever stopped to think about how fast we're spinning on this big blue marble called Earth? It's a wild ride, my friends, but we hardly even notice it. The Earth spins like a top, making one complete rotation every 24 hours. This rotation is responsible for our day and night cycle, you know, that whole sunrise and sunset thing we take for granted. But it's more than just pretty lights in the sky. This spin also affects our planet's gravity and the way the winds blow. It's all connected like a cosmic dance. Now, imagine if someone just hit the pause button on this cosmic dance. What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? I'm not talking about a gradual slowdown like when you gently apply the brakes on a bicycle. I'm talking about a full-on screeching halt. What would happen to us, the atmosphere, the oceans? Would we all go flying off into space like a bunch of untethered astronauts? Hold on tight because things are about to get interesting. Our planet is constantly in motion, orbiting the sun while also spinning on its axis. This rotation is what gives us day and night, and it plays a crucial role in shaping our planet's climate and weather patterns. But what if this rotation were to suddenly stop? Let's dive into this hypothetical scenario and explore the mind-boggling consequences it would have on Earth and its inhabitants. The Earth's rotation creates a centrifugal force that pushes outward, counteracting the inward pull of gravity. This force is what makes us weigh slightly less at the equator than at the poles. It's also responsible for the Coriolis effect, which influences the direction of winds and ocean currents. Without this constant spin, our planet would be a very different place. Let's say it's a Tuesday and everything seems normal. You're sipping your morning chai, the birds are chirping and the sun is peeking over the horizon. But then, something strange happens. The sun seems to freeze in place. It's not rising, it's not setting, it's just stuck. This, my friends, is the moment the Earth stands still. Now, you might think, hey, a day without the sun setting sounds kind of nice, but trust me, it wouldn't be nice for long. You see, that constant spin we talked about does more than just give us day and night, it also keeps our atmosphere in check. Without the Earth's rotation, the atmosphere would keep moving, creating winds of unimaginable speed like a global superstorm. Imagine winds raging across the planet at hundreds of miles per hour, tearing up everything in their path. Trees would be uprooted, buildings would crumble, and the very landscape of Earth would be reshaped. And that's not even the worst of it. The sudden stop would also cause the oceans to slosh around like water in a bathtub. Giant tsunamis, taller than any skyscraper, would surge across continents, swallowing entire cities in their wake. Remember that whole flying off into space thing I mentioned earlier? Well, here's the thing. If the Earth stopped spinning suddenly, everything on the surface would still have that momentum it had from spinning. It'd be like being on a merry-go-round that suddenly stops. You'd keep going in a straight line, probably ending up with a bruised ego and a face full of cotton candy. Only this time, instead of cotton candy, we're talking about buildings, cars, and yes, even people, all being flung eastward at incredible speeds. It would be pure chaos, like a scene out of a disaster movie, except this time it's real. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not at the equator, so I'm good, right? Not so fast. Even at higher latitudes, the force would still be strong enough to cause some serious damage. And let's not forget about the animals, the birds, the insects. Everything would be sent on a wild, unintended journey. The Earth's rotation is like a giant invisible hand that keeps everything in its place. Without it, we'd all be in for a very bumpy ride. Section 4. The sun's relentless gaze. So, we've survived the initial shock of the Earth stopping, the mega winds, and the planet-wide game of catch with buildings and buses. Now what? Well, we've got a new problem. The sun. Remember, with no rotation, one side of the Earth would be facing the sun constantly, while the other side would be shrouded in perpetual darkness. Imagine one hemisphere baked under the relentless glare of the sun, the temperatures soaring to unimaginable heights. The oceans would start to boil, the land would dry up and crack, and any life that managed to survive the initial chaos would be scorched to a crisp. Meanwhile, the other side of the Earth would be plunged into an endless night. Temperatures would plummet to Arctic levels, freezing everything in sight. The oceans would turn to ice, the land would become a desolate wasteland, and any remaining hope for life would be extinguished. It would be a tale of two extremes, a planet divided between fire and ice, light and darkness. Section 5. A world out of sync. But the chaos doesn't stop there. You see, life on Earth has evolved over billions of years to the rhythm of our planet's rotation. Our sleep-wake cycles, our hormones, our entire biological clocks are synchronized to this 24-hour cycle. Now imagine throwing that delicate balance out the window. With days and nights stretching on for months, our circadian rhythms would be completely out of whack. We'd be like jet-lagged zombies, stumbling around in a state of perpetual confusion. And it's not just us humans. Plants and animals would suffer too. Many plants rely on the regular cycle of day and night to photosynthesize and grow. Animals depend on these cycles for hunting, mating, and migration. Disrupt this delicate balance, and it could lead to widespread ecological collapse. The Earth's rotation is not just a physical phenomenon, it's the very heartbeat of our planet, and everything on it depends on it. Section 6. The Fragile Blue Marble. So, there you have it. A glimpse into the catastrophic consequences if the Earth were to suddenly stop spinning. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But before you start panicking, let me assure you that this scenario is highly unlikely. The laws of physics are pretty clear on this one. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, and the Earth has a lot of momentum built up from billions of years of spinning. It would take an astronomical amount of energy to bring it to a sudden halt. But even though this scenario is improbable, it serves as a powerful reminder of just how precious and fragile our planet is. The Earth's rotation, its atmosphere, its magnetic field. All these things work together in perfect harmony to create the conditions necessary for life to thrive. So the next time you look up at the night sky, take a moment to appreciate the intricate workings of our universe and the delicate balance that makes our existence possible. And remember, we're all spinning on this big blue marble together, so let's make the most of this wild ride.